a paint job on a re-release Frog.
It's been fun.
Hi guys, Brett here from Hearns Hobbies.
And I'm BJ.
And today we're going to be working on episode 5 of the Frog build. And we're going to do this one together.
Are we now?
Yeah, because we are going to try and do this airbrushing on this frog body, because I promised you that we weren't going to do box art.
Yeah.
We're going to make it look like a race car somewhat.
Oh, it's going to look like your race scheme, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So I thought, who better to do it than myself? And then I might even learn from you, because you are by far a better airbrusher than myself. And if all works out well, you won't have to step in too much. Just clean the airbrush for me between colours.
I'm going to be your assistant.
So let's get started. So the other day you guys saw me, we cut the body out, we fitted it.
Yep.
I then washed it, and then we taped it up, and I've got a combination of just the standard sort of blue masking tape.
Yep.
And then I've got some of the Tamiya tape as well on there.
Yep.
So yeah, we've got our windows taped up, I've got my paint design on there. I think without further ado, I think we should get airbrushing.
Let's get into it. Alright, so what's your first colour you're going with?
So my first colour that I'm going with is the black, and I'm going to do that the shadow around the tear.
Oh, okay.
Now I don't know if it's worth having a body here to reference. Do people know? Should we or just do it as it comes together?
I'll go and grab a car.
Yeah, go grab a car.
So everyone gets an idea and so you can see what you're actually planning here.
Absolutely. Alright, while BJ does that, I'm just going to do a bit of a test spray. I've put a bit of black in here. This is just acrylic paint. So I'm using acrylic Vallejo paint. It's really good, it's easy to work with, and it doesn't smell for working inside. So I'm just going to go ahead and start applying the black shadow.
I don't think anyone can see.
So, well,
there you go.
I'm not used to airbrushing on camera. I can barely do it at home in the comfort of my own place, let alone doing it.
Just takes a little bit of practice, doesn't it, to get your got a steady hand.
It does, and
I can see it come through there.
And the polycarbonate is not porous, so it's got no give.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it will run and it will splatter and it will show up all of your errors really quickly.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead, keep going.
Well, just so people get an idea, this is your race scheme.
Yep.
So it's a fluoro yellow green main colour with the tear feature along the sides here. So you can see the shadow that's being done now, the black. So it's going to be gone over with the green. And then later on, when you take off all your main masking, we're going to do the bottom part.
Absolutely, we will.
It's going to have your highlights and your white on it. That's
right. And I'd just like to say how well this airbrush is working for me, and how quiet that little compressor is. That is it for the black. I'm just going to do a little bit of a touch up here, if I can. Sorry.
That's right, isn't it?
That is it. So we can see here that I've put the black on. It's going to be really hard. It's quite faint to see. But
maybe if we use this, let's put this underneath it to get a better idea.
Watch me smear all the paint off.
No, don't have to stick it in there. Yeah, that's it.
And so you can see there we've got a bit of a shadow and a line going.
Yep.
So that's all I'm going to achieve there. So that's it for the black. I'm just going to reach down, turn the air off. We're going to keep young Braden busy with this one.
Oh, you're going to change what? Clean it?
Yeah, we're going to pour it out.
Oh, so you're going to pour it back in there?
I'm going to pour it back into my paint container, what I can.
Oh, how about we just clean it here? Clean it here.
You're going to clean it here?
Yeah. We'll clean it here.
That's quite a big tank on this, isn't it?
It's a huge tank. That's the thing. I mean, it would be easy if we had a quick release. So then we just undo it and then you won't have any escaping air. But since we've got it all connected, rather than just let it bleed out, let's just wash it here.
Alright, while you wash that,
yeah,
I'm going to just stand in the background and hit it with the heat gun.
Yeah.
Now the reason I'm using a heat gun on this one, just look out for the mic there, Beach.
Oh.
The reason I'm using a heat gun on this one is just to ensure that we do get it dry between colours. Otherwise it will in fact start to bleed and melt into each other, won't it? And
it
we
will.
won't have that colour definition.
No, that's right. And when you're using the heat gun too, you've got to be careful with your tape, because if you really stretch your tape, when heat hits it, it starts to pick up from the body.
Yeah.
Just gotta make sure you press it all down again until you got it flat. Otherwise, you get a bit of bleed.
That's the last thing I want, is a bit of bleed on our body.
That's right.
How's that airbrush coming along, mate?
Yeah, it's getting there.
So what airbrush are we using today, Beach?
So this is the NINESTEPS Premium.
Yep. And that's a 0.2 mil, isn't it?
0.2? It is, yep. Oh, did we switch off the...
Oh, who knows, mate. If I'm in the case...
What are you doing? Oh, you switched it off. That's why it's not going anywhere. Right, so I'm just going to clear out the nozzle here. I'm going to put a bit more water here. What's your next colour?
Green.
Green, okay, so we want to try and remove as much of this black as possible, right? Because otherwise it's going to tone the green. So basically when I'm spraying this out, I want there to be as little black as possible. Because even just a touch of black is going to change the colour of the green.
Well, the first green is actually going to be the darker one, because I'll lay the stencil down first.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll do some more highlights with the fluoro. So
Yep.
I usually try and go from the old adage of going from darkest to lightest.
Yep.
And that just aids. It's not always the case, but it aids in your cleaning and stuff, like you said. It doesn't matter if that colour ends up a bit darker or something.
Alright, well there's a touch in there, so what I'm going to do is when you put in your green...
We can test it out.
Yeah, we'll blast it through and we'll get rid of the last remnants of the black. I mean, this is a really quick way of changing colours.
Wait, how else do you change colours?
Oh, you can take it all to the sink and like fully flush it.
Yeah.
It takes a long time.
Take
But when you're
the
doing
wheel
this, it doesn't really need to be totally super clean.
Have you seen my bodies, mate?
What, like that one?
Super clean is not yet. This is pretty haphazard as far as airbrushes will be yelling and screaming at me, I'm sure. Watching me butcher this. So I'm just going to do a bit of a test pattern now.
Yep.
Flush out some of that black.
Yep. How's it looking?
Good, it's very thin, this paint.
Yep. Oh, it looks alright, doesn't it?
The spray pattern's good.
Yep. Let's move this out of the way. That's the stuff I'm using for cleaning. Alright, so we're going to body back here.
There we go. There's our green colour.
Alright, so that's pretty bright.
Pretty bright.
So you're going to use that like a shadow as well, right? Because we're going to put a lighter tone on top.
That's right. So I'm going to go ahead first.
Yep.
And then we're going to lay down the stencils, which we've got. They're
The
next
stencils
here.
over here, yeah.
I'll hold this.
Okay, so I've got some stencils.
So this is a Biddy Design electric circuit stencil.
Yep.
And that's how I get this effect on the body here.
Yep.
So
it looks good. It's quite subtle.
It's quite subtle, and yet it's a little bit of detail.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we'll go ahead and get this one out of the way.
Alright, let's see how you do this.
So you can see here all the green paint on these stencils. These have probably been used for 5-6 bodies. Now the sheets are bigger, but I've cut it down because to do 10 scale bodies was quite hard to get them to sit flat.
Sure. Alright, so you're going to pick the best one to fit in the area.
Yeah, essentially, because you can only sort of pick it up and you can only lay it once, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's very hard to...
Do you tape it in as well?
No.
Or you just hold it?
Yeah, I just
hold it.
just
hold it like that is enough. Okay, let's move this out of the way.
And that's going to be it for that.
Okay.
And that's really going to come through just here.
Yep.
And then I'll do some tones here with fluoro. It's going to look a bit washed out, but that's the contours of the body, and I can't push that in.
Yep. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
alright, so you're going to hold it on the edge there.
Yeah, I'll make sure
so
that my
doesn't
fingers...
cover anything else. Yep.
And it's sitting in there nice and flat.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and hose this in like a chimp.
Like a chimp.
Well, it needs to be quite heavy when you do this.
I've never seen a chimp spray.
Well,
have you seen one? You learn from one.
You're watching now, mate.
Oh.
This is how they do it. How's the camera looking? I'm trying to watch it on
No, you're perfect. You're right in the centre, which is perfect. Yeah, I know what you mean. It can be a bit awkward, right? Trying to hold it for the camera. But you're doing a good job there, so we can see exactly what you're doing. Alright, so you're going to pull off the stencil now?
Going to pull that off.
Yep.
You've only got one shot with that.
Okay, oh look at that.
So there we go. So can we see that?
Yeah, it's really bright.
It's really bright, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now that's going to wash away.
So it's still wet at the moment, so would you use a hairdryer on that? Or
That's exactly what I'm going to use.
Okay.
And usually I'll dab this off with a wet towel.
Yep.
Because if we want to relay it down, it smears onto the body or can
So
run
how
through
about I
the
just wipe it
stencil.
with this one here?
Yeah, you wipe it with that. I'm going to hit this with the heat gun.
Yep. Okay.
Now I'm going to actually heat it from the back side because I'm scared if I hit that with the air, it's actually going to run the paint.
Oh, okay. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep, yep. Yeah, you just want the temperature there to set it, right?
Yeah. The best that we can. Now it's not going to be perfectly cured. I know that.
Okay, so I'll wipe that all off there. Still a bit moist, so we'll let it dry off.
I do love the smell of the Vallejo paints, no?
Well, it's not bad. I mean, that's the advantage of
acrylics.
That's right. They don't have a strong.
It sort of
odor
smells
to 'em.
almost like candy. It's got a very sweet smell.
Does it?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. So I'm going to go ahead now and lay this one along here.
Yep. Okay.
Well, I'm just figuring out which is the best way to actually get some graphic in there.
Yep.
What do you think, Beige? How?
Well, you're going to run that across, right? So I guess if you spray around this area, it'll sort of feather off here, and then we can move that across.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
you're going to do it at the very back as well?
yeah, we'll do
Okay.
it all the way up. So there's a nice bit solid bit here. So I'll
Yep.
probably stop about here
Yep.
on the paint the paint scheme.
Yep.
And try not to hose it all over the design that I've already done.
Yep.
Let's see what we can do.
Yep. Okay. I'm sure you're a professional chimp, so you know what's going on. So this Vallejo paint you're using,
Yes.
you haven't thinned it down at all, right?
Not really, no, it's pretty good straight out of the bottle.
Okay. And this is like this is what they call a premium, which is a polyurethane.
Yes.
So the polyurethane is quite tough.
Well, I suppose it has to be for Lexan, doesn't it?
Yeah.
For the Lexan application that I'm using here. So I'll go straight back here and lay the next stencil down. Try and get it to sit as flat as I can to ensure that we got most clarity.
Right, so I'll wipe that one down for you. So that should be dry off in a sec.
I'm just gonna sort of lay this one down here. How's the camera looking? Can people see what I'm trying to?
Yeah, you got it in the right spot. Okay, so that's sort of aligned with this design here.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be perfect. But I
No,
guess-
this is the beauty in doing this.
Yep.
And you just sort of hose it in
Yep.
like so. Try and remove
Alright,
that
there you
away. Next one,
Wipe that down.
wipe that down,
Okay.
and I'll hold this one up. And if we have a look on the outside of the body now, we can see we've got a bit of a graphic going on. It's
Really
going
shows
all
up
the
well
way down
against
the side.
that black background.
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead now and do that on the other side as well.
Alright, so that one's been wiped down. Is that dry enough yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Do something like that.
Yep.
It's nice and actually fairly square-sided, this body. Square-sided, slab-sided.
Yeah, I guess so. Not very organic, I guess.
Hopefully the air does not blow it away. Here we go.
Staying put.
Looking okay on the camera.
Yep. It's good. Got it spot on.
There we go. Put that back in the holder.
Alright, so you're just going to lift it straight up.
And that's our 9 steps airbrush holder too, isn't it? Which is probably off camera at the minute.
Yeah.
But that's a handy little workstation. That's the one that I
Yeah,
use
you
from
really
home.
do need a holder for your airbrush.
Yeah, it's a nightmare, isn't it? And it
Yeah.
makes a mess on the carpet when you
That's
spill
right.
it. That doesn't upsets the missus a bit.
Well, you keep it a secret.
Wow.
The fluoro green, where'd that come from?
That's
Don't know.
right. Don't know.
Don't know.
You get your
Never
hands
seen it before.
and your nails are painted in it. You can see here. Did you do painting today? Maybe.
Wasn't me.
I'll try and just locate.
Find the best one to go in.
Yeah. Try and get some graphic going on here, or maybe go across the wing mount. Bit of a jigsaw.
Well, that sort of works, doesn't it?
That sort of work. It's
Yeah.
working for us, isn't it?
You going to do the roof as well?
Yeah, I will do the roof at this point. We're not at this point, but I will do the roof on this body.
Yep.
It's going to fade a bit on here where it's lifting, but that's okay. That's going to be a good point of conversation. It's going to be predominantly under the wing anyway. But they're really forgiving, these stencils. And painting RC race bodies, you know, you sort of, you realise the fact that you are going to just thrash it, crash it and burn it on track.
Burn it?
You know? Wow.
We've seen a few things burn before, haven't we?
Well, we'll try not to.
Once the smoke comes out of some of those little boxes, they don't work the same.
No, the smell's horrendous.
Right, there we
Look
go.
at that, that is sitting in there really nicely. I think we should get a really, if I can hold that in there nice.
Oh, well done.
We should get a really nice little pattern on this, on the roof of this car. Like I said, just sort of hosing it on.
Yep.
Like so. Lift this one out.
Cool, thank you.
I'm just going to hit this with the air gun now because the last thing I want to do is smear it.
Yeah, it's not going to be very nice to smear, is it?
No. And that's, you run the risk of, if you work with the body too wet, that's usually what happens. Now this body has got a protective layer on the coating on the outside.
Yep.
So that's a really good feature on most modern bodies. It probably didn't have it in 1983, I imagine.
No, the original ones didn't have it. Yeah, so you used to have to tape it up with either some paper on the outside.
Because you
just
would,
to stop the overspray.
Yeah, because you would get overspray and it does go dull on the outside.
Yeah.
There are products that you can clean it off with.
Yes.
But these, in this day and age, and the other thing about it is you get this extra layer of gloss, don't you?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't get scratched and marked in the box. Because the polycarbonate is actually quite soft and marks quite easily.
Yep.
And even that body there that you showed, that's really done minimal work on the track.
Yes,
but it has lost a fair bit of its shine already, you know?
Alright, that's looking alright.
Looking alright?
Yep.
I'm just going to do this bit on the rear here.
So what about the back?
Back, yeah, I'll try and do something there.
Yep.
Without dropping the, there you go.
There we go.
In here. This one's it.
This bit here? Oh, that bit?
I want a bit of solid so it doesn't
Oh, okay, yeah.
sort of bleed too much, but it's going to be hard to get.
That'll look right.
Because we're going to see where we get overlay.
Yep.
So I've got to know where to stop. So if I put my thumb there,
Yep.
it's going to be a bit of a guide on where to stop. That said, I'm just going to get a line along there, aren't I?
You want some dots and things?
Yeah, if I do this way, I'm going to get some, yeah, look at that.
Got some angle going on and dots?
Got some angle, we've got some dots, it's all happening.
Cool. It's all happening.
Put my thumb there so I know where to stop.
Yep.
How are we looking on camera? It's feeling very awkward.
You're feeling awkward?
Not me, just the ergonomics of painting this.
Oh.
How's that looking? Better? Do a quick test spray.
It looks good from my angle.
And here we go. That should be it for that little part.
Looking good?
There we go, this one.
Yep.
And then we'll try and get something on the back here. What can we lay in here? We're probably not going to get the corners in. That's a nice little bit of graphic, isn't it?
Looks alright.
If I can get something like that.
You want me to hold there somewhere?
I might hold it here and then I'll do a relay.
Oh, you good?
I'm going to actually start airbrushing with the opposite hand. So you thought I was bad before? Okay, I'll go right-handed.
Are you ambidextrous?
Not really, no. I'm ambi something else, but it's not dexterous.
Anti?
Wow, not really.
Oh, glad. Done alright?
Well, that's what I mean. It's pretty forgiving, isn't it? Because I'm going to do a relay. Excuse me while I get the hair gun again. We're going to dry this one up.
Did you call it a hair gun?
Hair gun, well, hair dryer heat gun. You know, that's where I'm taking it. Do you have a hairdryer, Beach?
I do.
Yeah?
No, I don't use it on my head.
Don't use it on your head?
No.
No.
I use more important things.
Yeah, modelling.
Yeah. Yeah. Drying paints, doing exactly what you're doing.
Yep.
Yep. Sometimes we're heating up things to release Loctite.
Yep.
Yep. Because heat always softens Loctite.
I've used a soldering iron for that before.
Have you?
Yeah, on the back of the screw, like if it's a metal chassis.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yep. That's looking pretty spiffy.
Well, I'm going to get this last bit on, hopefully.
Bit tricky?
Want a few dots. The dots are sort of what makes it, I think.
Like dotty bits?
Something like that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's try that bit. Try it.
Move this out of the way.
Try it left-handed. How's it looking on camera?
Yeah, good. You're dead center again.
Hose it in there like a little chint.
You like the hosing, don't you?
Here we go.
There you go.
Okay. So what we've got here is our second colour on and our stencil pattern down.
Yep.
So it does look quite bright now, but I trust me that the fluoro yellow will wash it out a lot.
Yep. Well, I guess the tones are pretty similar, aren't they? So
yeah.
That's how you're going to get your subtlety to it.
That's right.
Yeah, it's cool.
So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some fluoro green.
Yep.
And I'm going to wash it out through the cracks and some creases in the body to give it a bit more definition and stuff, like I've done over here.
Okay.
So if we can wash this one out for us.
Yeah, can do. All right. Oh yeah, you're going to save the paint.
It's amazing, isn't it, how little you need in the airbrush?
Yeah, that's right. Because it's coming out so evenly and lightly.
Like I always overfill it. I'm going to give the fluoro green a bit of a... Now it's not a full colour change, so you don't have to go crazy on this one.
Yep.
Realistically, I could have just put it in the pot afterwards, but I didn't want it to dry in the nozzle. So flushing it out with the water, I think will help the nozzle a bit too, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. Give it a bit of a run around.
Can you see what you're doing?
Can I see what I'm doing?
Are you going to do it on the overhead?
Oh, well, this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See what's
I've cleaned
going
out
on?
most of it already. So you poured all the spare paint back in the bottle, right?
Yeah.
So you can reuse it. And then I'll just flush this with a little bit of water. I used a brush. And this is the old water I'm using, so it's pretty dark. This is the same water I use for cleaning out the black.
Well, black's pretty heavy pigment, isn't it?
It is. It is. Okay, so we don't need to clean this out totally. Alright, so we'll do that. A bit of rag. Just flush it out here. You see how the green is getting less and less now. And then if you look at the inside of the cup's pretty clean. It's not perfectly clean, but it's good enough. Because we're going to another tone pretty similar. So I think we're ready to go now. Oh.
Well, that paint before is actually fluoro green mixed with silver and black.
Oh.
Because when I was using just the fluoro green on the stencil, I couldn't get it down thick enough to actually come through.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
fluoros are transparent, yeah.
So I needed to add more of the other pigments.
Oh, so that's a special Brett mix.
Yeah, hence it's a bit of a...
Right, custom colour.
Well, the custom colour, it's got my cross on it.
Yep.
There we go.
The cross.
Stencil green.
Crossbones.
All right. You hold that.
All right, I'll hold this.
I'll overfill this as usual.
Well, that's really warm.
Oh, thank you. I just warmed it.
Right.
You can see here I've really only put like
it's pretty bright, isn't it?
12 drops in it.
Yep.
I hope it's bright. It's fluoro.
Yep.
Got a bit of a test pattern here.
So that'll basically clean out whatever was left inside, any residue, and then it should come super clean as the paint goes through to the nozzle.
Yeah, look at that.
So it's good. Nice and bright. That's super bright.
Now, like I said, most of this colour is going to wash out in the yellow anyway.
Yep.
But it does add another depth to the body.
Yep.
So this one here, it's actually a little bit thinner than the other colour. I'm actually going to turn the air down a bit.
Yep. So with these, I think they sort of work better with thin coats. Let it dry, and then you put on another coat, because they are semi-transparent, and they will be quite easy I think you turned it down too low. There's nothing coming out anymore. What have you done?
I've broken it. Here I am.
Is that better?
Got a Jack in the Box.
There you go. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we are.
Alright, let's move the stencils out of the way.
Going to move the stencils out of the way.
Yeah,
I'll try and come to the middle of the frame again.
Yeah.
Now I've let the air come through, get all the the splats out. You know what I mean? So usually you get the air come first before you start painting.
Yeah. So a bit of air to start with just gets rid of all the loose.
And I'll usually do it over the masking tape.
Yep.
If I'm on my game.
Yep.
So I'm just going to go over my black shadow here.
Yep. I'm just going to change this water over because it's getting pretty dark. I'll get ready for the next colour change.
Yep, while BJ's off, got a few splatters going on here, but that's okay. I don't mind the splatters. They sort of add depth to it. I know that the airbrusher guys will. It's not very professional, but that's how I roll.
I've got some fresh water here. Now I just noticed that my fingers are all coloured up.
Bit of nail polish.
Yeah, so this is from cleaning up the stencils. You want to be careful when you're painting. You don't want to do this because if you touch the inside of your body, this will probably come off and mark your body. But since I'm just the assistant, it's all good, yeah?
You're assisting me trying to be awesome. Is it working? Well, we'll see when we pull the tape off at the end.
Well,
getting a few splats coming out of the gun. Maybe the air could go up a little bit.
It's not a real problem though, is it?
No, I don't, like I said, I don't mind the splats on my paintwork. Yep. I think it adds sort of a bit of a depth and a feel to it when you see it come out. So I'm just going around some of the highlights of the body.
So with the highlights, you put a deeper coat on there so it comes out like a deeper tone.
Yeah.
And then when you put on the white will lighten up the less covered areas.
That's right. And just around the window frames and stuff, make it a bit more three-dimensional, if you will.
Yeah, good definition.
And I think I might do a little bit around the bottom of the front window.
Yep.
Just trying here not to wash away too much of my lovely stencil work. And I think I am super happy with that.
Okay, so you got some sort of transparent bits.
Yep.
So that's looking from the bottom. So if we look through the top, you can see how some of the black is showing through. So when you're going to be doing the backing, that's going to be showing up where those dark bits are. Yeah, it's looking good.
Looking good?
Yep.
All right.
So
again,
it's got a real resemblance to your particular paintwork already. Just seeing that.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens.
All right. So what are we doing now?
So we're going to flush that out because the next colour that we'll be putting in there is pink.
Is pink.
Is
all right.
pink.
So I've got green in there at the moment.
Yeah. So it's quite a colour change to this one.
A bit of water in there.
And what I'm going to do while you're doing that
is
is another heat gun. Braden might have to come to the party and save us on this one.
What's that? Well, with another heat gun? What do you mean?
We're going to spend 5 minutes drying and cleaning that airbrush before we put on a bit of lacquer paint out of the spray can.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's going to have a
bit of a tang.
Tang, is that what you call it?
Bit of a tang.
Did you used to drink tang when you were a kid?
No. What's tang?
You don't remember tang? Oh, maybe you were a bit young, but it came in a like a little glass jar which resembles a Nescafe instant coffee jar, and it was granules of orange powder. Mix it with water, and you get this orange flavoured drink called tang. And I have to say, probably wasn't all that natural.
No?
But everyone was into it, and I drank it as a kid, and it doesn't exist anymore. So,
So you drink it all? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I could have. Might have been my problem. But there you go. So we'll clean that up. Got a little bit of leakage on the side, but it doesn't really matter. We can clean that up a bit later. I'm just going to wipe it. But the inside's clean enough, I think. There we go. Those are cleaned up. So just changing between colours. This is just water, brush inside, pour it out. Water, brush inside, spray it out, and then if you need to clean it up anymore, a bit more water, flush it out to the front, and that's ready to go for the polishing. How's your hair going there?
Hair's going good.
Yep.
Would you be able to reach into my box of goodies down there, please, for me? And get out the fluoro yellow? I want to say it's 27, but I could be wrong.
It's 27?
That is PS 27.
This one feels a bit light though.
Could be more.
I think you might be a bit pushing that one.
Got a freshie.
That's freshie, it's still all wrapped up. What's going on there?
So that's really going to annoy the people at home.
What's that?
You shaking a can.
Is it?
You can have a look at that. I think there's nothing in this can.
Oh, you're going to get rid of it? Here's the freshie.
I think we go straight for the freshie.
Alright, so what have we got going on here?
We just like collecting cans. Hey?
Yep.
Do you think we can sell that one?
The empty one?
Yeah.
We could.
Well, it could be a commemorative frog colour. Alright, excuse me while I shake, and I'm actually going to heat the can as well.
Oh yeah?
Yep. Have you seen that trick before?
Yeah, I normally put it in hot water.
Yeah, do you like to stir your cans, or do you just shake it?
The Japanese method is stirring them.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like the old Mexican backhand. You know, give it these ones.
I got no words.
Why not?
I don't know.
PS 27.
I've never been to
It's
Mexico.
natural.
Well, I've never seen what the Mexicans do.
It's all about chimps.
Well, they like chimps over there too.
I don't know. So how's it looking, boss?
Well, it's all dry. It's ready for the next coat. So you're going to go the fluoro yellow. And then what are you going to do? After the fluoro yellow? I'll back all white.
A little bit of white.
Have we got any white?
Yep. That is unicorn.
It is.
A little bit of white.
Yeah.
Because the next colour is pink. And I wouldn't want to put pink on the back of yellow.
No.
Unsealed.
So here we go. We've got our body there. And this is where we're at the moment.
Give this a big old one of these ones.
What are you doing, martini?
Yep. Martini espresso time.
Right.
Alright, now this.
Now you're not going to get that absolutely everywhere, are you?
Well, I want to say no.
Alright.
It is spray paint though.
So do you want me to stand behind you?
Do you want to put a fan? I don't know. Where are we going to aim it? I'm going to be trying very, very quick. Okay?
Yeah?
Yeah. Alright?
Alright.
So, we've got the green, the two types of, we've got the black one, two types of green.
We're
going to go yellow.
Here.
Over there?
Yeah, because if we get it on the table, it's going to go everywhere.
Or do you want me to come on the other side of the table or what? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, you want to share the camera, yeah?
Well, that's the idea. We're filming it. Don't we? Ready? It's not just for fun.
Alright, let's see what you're doing there. Alright.
Smells better, this one.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is a lacquer, right? So it's got that strong solid smell.
I'm really glad that I've got the moustache back. That's really going to...
What?
The filter.
The filter?
Yeah. I don't have to worry about any masks anymore.
Man, that's killer. So really, it would be really good if we did that with a bit of ventilation. It's pretty strong.
Well, you think so, but is it really? We haven't painted the lens, have we?
Paint the lens.
So what I'm doing now is hitting it with more paint.
More paint?
Sorry, I'm hitting it with the air gun again.
Yeah.
And you can
is
see
that enough fluoro?
Probably not.
Oh, okay, so you need another coat?
It's very thin fluoro.
Yep.
It's quite see-through. And I want to, in fact, make sure...
So you want it really yellow? Because if you spray this now, it will look towards on the white side.
Yeah, yeah, potentially. And there's only so much fluoro that you can put down in one go.
Okay.
Fluoros I usually always do. It saves getting runs because it's very, very thin, very opaque.
Yep.
So 2 little light coats is good enough for a race body.
Yep.
You have to dry it in between coats, otherwise it'll start to sag everywhere.
Okay. Alright, so you're going to do the... Let me just stand over here.
This is perfectly safe. We've got full ventilation, we've got ducting out to Flinders Street. Well, this is perfectly fine. Another light coat, holding away.
Yep. The great thing about spray cans is they can cover quite a lot of area.
And they do it in quite a smooth fashion.
Yep.
Alright, that is going to be it. Yep.
Alright. Oh, just cap this off.
And we can see the design here is really coming through. Once we hit it with the white,
it's
going to
be... Oh, okay.
How much white do we have? Because I have to back the whole body.
I reckon you got about third. So I reckon you use the white.
Very sparse.
Yeah, so if you need to concentrate it on the fluoro to bring it out, I reckon you do that. But you're going to need a lot of it at the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you just put enough on it.
Just over there, where the pink's going to go for the moment, just to seal it.
Yes. And then later on you can do the whole can, I guess, whatever you got left.
That's right.
It's rare, isn't it?
At the moment. That one there's probably a year old, if not more.
I just finished my last can.
Did you?
Yep.
We're talking about PS1, not beer.
Sorry?
Talking about PS1, not beer.
Yeah, I heard you the first time.
Ah. So what I'm going to do now is get the tape off.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to go to white.
Yeah, you got to do some backing. So we're going to concentrate around where you're going to put the pink, right?
Yeah, so basically just around the tape line here. And the shadow, you can see here the shadows come through a lot more.
Yeah.
So it seemed that I didn't really paint much. But I'm really happy with that.
So we want to back it around where the pink is going to go, because if we put pink underneath, it's going to show through, isn't it?
Yeah, on the fluoro yellow, it definitely will.
Yep. Okay.
So it's very thick pigment.
Yep. And with all fluoros, they should be backed with white, because otherwise you won't get the fluoro colour coming through. It'll look a bit dull. Now the Tamiya white PS1 is quite amazing in that it's quite dense. And for a white, it does cover quite a bit.
I think it covers everything. That's good. I've painted over the yellow.
You have too.
I've backed the yellow.
Alright, so that's pretty much glowing now around the edges, right? So the top parts we still haven't backed yet, so they'll get brighter.
Now usually I would take a bit more care than this on the body.
Yeah.
This is sort of a sped up version for the viewers at home.
Yep. Although it's still doing quite a bit of detail, so everyone can see exactly the steps you're going through.
Yeah. Yeah, the process is no different. I just generally would take more care.
Yep. And it's interesting that the white is always a gloss finish on the PS1. So it's a bit hard to tell when you've actually flashed it off with the hairdryer. But you can tell just by, once it gets that semi-gloss stage, that's when it's got enough heat.
What are you trying to say? Turn the heat gun off?
Hey? No, there's still some wet bits. I want to dry the wet bits, that's what I'm trying to say. Is that what you're trying to do?
Just using the heat gun, mate. No need to get all funny. I don't know if we're painting a buggy or doing a comedy show.
What do you mean? We haven't been funny yet.
No, right. I just hope the proper painters out there don't actually pick on what I'm doing.
What do you mean?
Because it is just fun. I know it's a bit rough. But you know what I mean? The effect comes up okay.
Yeah, it comes up really well.
It's going to be... it's going to see its time out on the track. So
right,
now...
So this is a half reveal, right?
This is a half reveal.
I mean, this is some of the fun parts of painting as well. You get to take off some of this tape.
Yep.
And it really feels like you're moving on to the next step.
So the body for this really is done like in 2 halves.
Yep.
And hopefully the tape hasn't lifted anywhere or done anything too funky. You can use polycarbonate cleaners here and stuff too. And that's exactly why I use the torn effect for the paint.
Yep.
It's actually better when it's sort of a little bit tacky, because
Yep.
it does sort of lift a bit better and actually tear more.
Right.
So here we go, bit of a reveal.
You just got to be really careful, yeah? Because sometimes even if you use a hairdryer, the paint can still be a little bit on the soft side.
Well, yeah, it hasn't cured through. It hasn't, like, they really take, I think I always, before I like put sugar glue and actually put it onto the car, I'll leave it like a day or 2.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, to really harden off.
Yep.
You can hit it with the hairdryer all you want. It still needs a bit of time to cure.
Yep.
I am going to need something to fix up this.
What do you need? Oh, a bit of overspray?
Yeah.
Well, I reckon I'll give you a cotton wool bud with a touch of lacquer thinner on it, and you'll be surprised at how it'll take some of that off.
Yeah?
Yeah, I reckon that'll do the job.
That's what we can do?
Yeah, we'll give that a go. Alright, so I've got some lacquer thinner here.
Oh,
Alright, so this is Mr. Colour.
Hobby.
Yeah.
Mr. Colour or Mr. Hobby?
Mr. Hobby. Oh, I guess Mr. Hobby, GSI, it's been known as all sorts of things. Good and Sanyo in the early days.
Good Sanyo?
Yeah.
Like Walkmans?
Oh, Walkmans.
Sanyo.
Oh, that's Sanyo.
Different.
Yes. So this is the 110mm, which is like a medium size. Doesn't really matter. It's all the same stuff. It's a pure lacquer thinner. So
Pure?
it's not hot like the stuff that you get from a hardware store.
Hot? What does that mean?
Hot means it's a really strong solvent. So quite often the really hot stuff, it dries quickly, which is good for some things, for cleaning. Sometimes it's got some really dangerous chemicals like toluene, which will take off just about anything. But the thing is, sometimes they can even mark your polycarbonate. So this stuff is pure. It doesn't work really strongly, but I mean, it should be strong enough to take this off.
Now I'm also trying not to get my fingers and everything all over the inside of the body.
Oh yeah, it might leave some smear marks.
You know, because you don't want to leave smear marks.
Yep. Okay, so what are we actually looking at here?
So you can see here where the tape's lifted.
Yep.
And that's just through rushing and taking our time.
Yep.
So we've got a bit of furry, fuzzy bit under the black shadow here.
The overspray where it's gotten under the tape.
And that's no amount of pink's going to fix that. You're always going to have a mark there.
Yep.
It's pretty good the rest. Oops, excuse me while I knock over the airbrush. Got a little bit up here.
Yep.
I can see if the camera will pick that up, and that's pretty good.
Okay, so let's have a look at this bit on the front here. All right, so I've got this cotton wool bud which I've already dipped into the thinner. And I'll just give that a bit of a rub.
While you're doing that, I might get the pink ready.
All right, so it's gently taking it off here. Now the thing about a cotton wool bud is it is sort of rounded on the edges, so it may not be as crisp as you like it.
Crisp?
Yeah. If you want it crisper, we could always use a different tool. Okay, so you can see there, hopefully, you can see how the end of the tips turn fluoro. Yes. All right, and then we just look at it from this side and see if it's cleaned enough. Do you want to clean more, or is that good enough?
Oh, a little bit more. If better as possible, good's not enough, mate. You know what I say?
Yeah, that's a bit much, aren't you?
Well, I've got to shake this bad boy anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, there's still other bits that I've got to clean.
Is it?
Yeah.
We don't focus too long.
Okay, so there's this bit here.
Mm.
Alright, so that's just going to take off this overspray. Hopefully. Is that on the outside?
Could be.
Alright, so we'll rub off the outside as well, just so it doesn't confuse us. Because that's the thing about painting with clear body sometimes. You'll be wiping and it doesn't do anything because it's actually on the other side.
I don't know whether you're Arthur or Martha.
Hey?
Well, when you're doing it inside out.
Arthur or Martha?
Well, I don't know, it's just an old expression.
Yeah. Alright, so we've got a little bit of overspray here. We'll just clean it up a little bit.
I'm just going to go ahead and get this.
Sounds like it's whistling.
Yeah. You know what that means?
What's it mean? It's dinner time?
Kettle's boiled.
Oh. Okay, so a little bit here.
I always admire the way this purple sprays out. You know how some colours just spray better than others?
Yeah.
This is like my favourite colour out of this Vallejo range that I spray. This always works good with this little airbrush.
I guess it's all... It's like the pigment and the mix out of the factory is just perfect, right?
Mm.
Alright, okay, so I wiped it down. I'm using the other side of the hot wool bud now, just to wipe off any excess residue. Because sometimes
I can't believe the flow on this airbrush today.
It's been fixed, mate.
Absolute animal.
Alright, so I wiped it all the way around.
I've turned the air up a little bit to get rid of the splots. And I've turned the...
Alright, so I'm just going to hold it against some white. I've got a white table here, just to see if I can pick up any more overspray.
That'll do, mate.
So that's on the other side, I think. That'll probably do, I think. It's reasonably clean. And if you look on this side, you'll be able to pick up if there's any more overspray that you might have missed. I think that's pretty good.
Now, do we need to hit that with the hairdryer to make sure it's all evaporated, or is it going to be...
I think it's good.
I think it's good?
Yeah.
I mean, be acrylic safe?
I think so.
Alright, so now what I'm going to do
It's flashed off.
is start with the purple. The pink on this is actually a purple and a fluoro pink. So I'm going to go in...
okay, so there's a two-tone there as well.
Going to go in and shade the purple in.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, just going to get myself so I can do it on camera.
Yep. Alright, so you're going up against that edge just where the black was.
Yep, just where the black was.
Yep.
Just trying to get a bit of colour change.
Yep.
Looks like we might
Yeah, the juice.
have got ourselves a bit of a blockage.
Oh, really? You had a bit of flush?
Bit of back burner action.
Back burn. There you go. Is it? Come through again.
The joys of airbrushing.
But sometimes all you need is a small amount of dried paint from the nozzle, and it'll stop the flow. I guess it's more prevalent with acrylic paints too, because it dries so quickly.
Yes, and it's so, I suppose it's so thick compared to that of, you know, the lacquer based paint.
Yep. It's pretty quick, eh? Almost done.
There we go.
Alright, so you got your first layer of purple in.
Yep. Do another colour change.
Yep. Want to give it a flushy?
Yeah, you give it a flushy and I'll work on getting that dried up.
Okay, so we got our purple there. Alright, here's the...
I like the colour of that water.
You like it?
That's a good colour.
You can almost drink it.
I like what you've done with that water. Looks like coolant.
It's good, isn't it? Why is coolant fluoro? Is there a reason for it being fluoro?
Yeah, so you don't drink it.
Really?
Well, you don't know
people like you would want to drink it.
What do you mean people like me?
Well, you said it looks good for you, but if you want to drink it. No?
It's not like I'm overheating.
I don't know. It's been pretty hot around here.
This new extraction system we've had fitted to the studio is working really well.
It is?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm just going to borrow this and we'll spray off the rest. Alright, so a bit more. Until it comes out almost clear. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Is it wrong that, you know, after I paint a body, I'm sort of excited to blow my nose and see what colour comes out?
Oh, I do that too.
Yeah. Oh, what's it going to be today?
It's terrible, isn't it?
I don't remember painting orange.
You learn about colour theory, don't you? All colours are rainbow.
Now, I really like the fact that this is going to have pink on it, because the original Frog, I suppose, the box art,
Yeah.
did in fact have like a pink stripe on it, didn't it?
I did it? With the pink stripe? Yeah. The bottom part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're sort of a nod to that, if you will.
Yeah.
All the while making it look like a familiar race car.
Yep. Right, so you're on to your next light colour.
Next light colour, which is again from the Vallejo range. I'm actually going to need to replenish this one. This is magenta fluoro.
Magenta fluoro.
Yeah.
That's pretty funky, isn't it?
Yeah, they really do have a great colour palette.
Right, let's move
And the
this
thing
water
about
away.
them is they come in like in 5 packs.
Oh, that's right,
So-
yeah. Like a fluoro set, metallic set,
Yeah.
basic set.
And yeah, for painting inside, I don't know. For me, it's the way to go.
Yeah.
Usually I paint inside, then I do the spray cans outside.
Yep.
You know, because it is posing on like an absolute machine. This one won't take long to cover.
Alright. Because you don't want to cover everything, right? Because you still want the white to come through.
That's right, that's right. So
you're pretty much just going to put it over the purple, right?
yeah,
and a
over
little
the
bit
purple.
of bleed through.
That's right. Just up against the line, adds
Yep.
a little bit of depth to it.
Yep. I can see it come through already. Oh, you got a really good angle there. I can really see what's going on. Okay. So you pretty much just followed the purple there.
Yeah, well, that's what's handy about just having one torn line, is that it's
Yeah.
nice and easy to just follow your design, I suppose.
Yep.
Like I said, it was pretty simple in the fact that it is just one torn line.
Yep.
Bit of blockage coming in the gun.
It's probably drying out the nozzle.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is going to be the last colour anyway, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just make sure we give it a good cleaning after this. That was a bit of a special flip, wasn't it? It's like
Was it?
flipping an omelette.
An omelette, you reckon?
No? Flipping what?
Flipping
something else?
Flipping the frog.
Flipping the frog. Frog's legs?
Why not?
Well, there you go. Well, it's really come through now, isn't it? Alright, so I'll give this a bit of a...
You give that a
clean.
zhuzh up. I've actually gone a bit heavy with this pink.
Do you want to clean up any of the overspray? No?
I think so.
You happy with it?
I think I'm pretty happy with that.
Alright, cool. Okay, so I'm just going to flush this out.
How is it looking?
Something pretty good, I reckon. Oh, I'm dripping.
Dripping?
Oh, that's good as new.
How's our camera looking? We haven't run out of memory or anything, have we? I always get a bit nervous when I'm
I don't
here
know.
when
This one's been pretty long.
when I'm left to my own device. It's going to be pretty hard to redo this one.
Let's flush this out.
All people have heard of me is you try and dry your hair.
Trying to dry my hair. You'll be amazed, my hair dries really quickly.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know why. Alright, that's pretty much it there. Alright, so that's flushed and we're going to give this a good clean later on. I'm sort of tangled up with your cord there. Hang on.
We've wrapped around.
There we go. Alright, and we'll chuck this back here.
You come in from behind me, that's it.
That's it. Alright, so that's all good there. Oh,
So do you want to give this a bit of a... Where did the PS1 go? Do you want to give the PS1 a shake for us, mate?
bit of a shake.
Yeah. Here we go.
Alright, so what were we talking about before? Shaking and
Stir it.
swirling.
Swirling?
Swirling, stirring. Alright, so what's stirring? Well, it's basically like this. Okay, so the ball bearing is only meant to be spinning around the bottom because that's where all the pigment is. Okay, so that's the Japanese method. And the idea behind that is you don't get as much air bubbles coming out, apparently.
Air bubbles?
Yeah. But most of us over here, we just check like this. Off you go.
It's sort of more...
Well, you can do the combination, so you do the swirl and the shake.
Combination?
Yeah. Right?
You
get the best of both worlds.
Mr. Tamiya wouldn't be happy with that, mate.
Probably not.
You do it one way or another, you don't just mix it up. You don't just do it willy-nilly. You commit.
I'm committed. Let's do a different pattern.
Right.
How's that? Now I'm doing the figure eight swirl.
Figure eight swirl?
Yeah.
I'm just getting a bit of heat into this, so...
Probably enough, I reckon. I reckon that's good to go.
So let's have a bit of a look over. We haven't looked over it in a couple colours.
Yep. Okay.
You can see here where I've actually been a bit of a heaving and gone a bit heavy with the pink.
Heaving.
Well, you know what I mean.
I reckon
a bit rough.
I reckon a bit of pink is good there.
But that's all right. Like you can see, there's a bit of a run and this and that. But
yeah.
the rest of it's all nice and shadowed.
Yep.
It really doesn't look much until we get the white on.
All right. So basically, we want to try and stretch this white to cover everything, don't we?
Yeah. So I'm going to start with the solid part.
Yep.
And then, like that's going to go over the overlap part.
Yep. Yep.
And
Okay.
we'll take it from there.
All right. All right. Let's see you do your magic.
Because it's definitely the last can of PS1 that I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. Are we getting it on camera?
Yep.
Getting it on the mat.
Getting it everywhere, mate. Alright, so is that what a chimp does?
Whoa! All of a sudden,
It turns into your body.
turns in to the body, doesn't it?
It does.
So
that's pretty much finished.
that's very much finished.
So all we're going to do is take off the window mask now, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And the clear.
And the clear, and the wing.
And the wing. What are you going to do to the wing?
Fluoro green, I think.
Okay.
On the other car I had looks pretty good.
Yep.
The current trend is in off-road to have clear wings.
Yep.
But
I don't like clear wings.
I like it bright and colourful, especially at my age. I need to see what's up.
Really?
Yep. So.
Look at that. Transformed.
And it hasn't really taken that long. Like, how long have we been going for? 3 hours?
3.5?
3.5? 4 hours?
Still within 1 day.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm actually getting hot from this heat gun. Are you getting hot?
No. I don't think you're blowing in my direction.
No, it wouldn't be the first time. Well, I'm trying to get it on the body, you know?
Right.
Trying not to melt the body at the same time.
No, that's right. Yeah, you got to be careful with a heat gun, because heat guns do get super hot.
Hair dryers in that regard are a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah.
And realistically probably good enough for what we're doing. But
yeah.
The good thing about those is they actually have a slower airspeed, so it won't just, if you have a little bit of wet paint or something, it can actually blow it around the body. Because like I said, it's not porous. Lexington isn't porous, so
yeah, that's right.
We've got PS1, yep. It wouldn't be the first time I've picked up a wrong spray can.
No, it's black.
We'll give it another go.
Give it another judge.
Especially around the body posts. But the good thing about the Frog body is that you don't actually have to take it on and off all the time.
Yeah.
Because the batteries come out from underneath.
No, that's right.
I think we'll call that one done.
Wow. Well, we've got the galaxy right here. So you see all the millions of stars in the galaxy. That's what it looks like there.
Does it?
Yeah.
Nick is going to be furious when he sees his mat.
So, it's a good thing he's not here then. So...
Hey, this is his favourite mat.
Yeah, well...
Work mat.
Yeah, you know how we fix it? We just spray it black.
Do we?
Yeah.
Alright. Lucky we got a black one. We could spray it white, but it might take a few coats.
Alright, so it's looking really good now, isn't it?
Yep.
The colours all coming out, so the white's helped the fluoro come through. It's given definition to the purple and the, what was it? Magenta, was it?
Magenta fluoro, I think it was. Now what I might get you to do while I'm doing the wing, I might get you to start on the window masks. Have you got that? Have you got a skewer or something wood?
Yeah, I got one of these. Is that going to work?
Well, because I found in the past when I use a hobby knife, just for it to be that little bit too sharp and it can scratch. And usually I tint my windows on my bodies.
Yeah.
However, this one's not going to be tinted because it's going to have a driver.
Right.
So I do usually tint them so you can see through somewhat, but this one, and it actually has window net stickers.
Yes.
And stuff.
Yep.
Oh.
Alright, so what have we got here? Let's have a look at these two. How about spin this around so I've got a nice fresh black.
Are you going to dirty the other side?
Yeah, why not?
He's going to lose it when he sees this.
Nah, it doesn't matter. Just wait, tell him. There we go.
We'll just turn it over.
Hey?
Yeah, we'll just leave
it. Just leave it like this. Look at it, it looks fresh. Here we go.
So can you see the similarities?
Definitely, definitely. So we got our family resemblance there.
Yep.
So there's no mistaking that this is your paint body.
Yep. And you can see it really hasn't taken that long. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Usually I probably would do it probably not quite that quick, but
oh, that's good.
Quite effective. It's okay.
Yep.
I'm going to get the fluoro.
Oh, so that's still pretty warm, yeah?
Yeah. Do you think that's good enough to get that window mask off or not? Do you think we should leave it?
Oh, you want me to take the window mask off it?
Well, what do you think?
Yeah, we can do that.
What do you think we should leave it? A hard nut.
Well, we've hit it pretty quick, haven't we? So if I just touch it here, it's still pretty tacky.
The beauty about doing it when it's warm is that the window mask is actually, you know, the backing on it's quite, what do you call it, like malleable, like it comes off quite easy and doesn't
maybe we
tear
should
as
take it
much.
off now, eh? Because it's going to harden up quite a bit tomorrow.
The only downside is that you can actually tear the paint, can't you?
Yeah. So we just got to pick it up from these corners.
This is actually going to pose quite a problem.
Why is that?
To paint.
What?
I can't hold it without getting my fingers all over it.
Right, so I'm just carefully picking away here.
Picking away?
Picking away.
So what I'm going to do, look at this. You like that?
Oh, yeah.
It's not the most technical thing. Wow.
Alright, so we've got one window mask off. There we go.
How'd it come up?
Looks alright.
Looks alright. We were a bit shaky about the window mask.
Bit shaky?
I'm not really used to doing window masks because all the modern bodies of the last 10 or 20 years for me have all come with pre-cut window masks. So just one piece of...
spoiled with that, haven't we?
Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead here.
There we go. Oh, you've got both sides. Oh, I've got to get out of the way, otherwise I'm going to spread this up.
No. So give this a really light dusting. Probably going to paint this buggy too. I might get this one out of the way for the minute. Green wing?
Should have spun that around.
Told you we were going to paint both sides.
Ah.
Now we got two sides to clean. There we go, and I think that is...
Well, there's your body there with all the mass off it.
Hey, look, how good's that?
It's pretty good. So we've got a little bit of overspray here, but again, we can just use the cotton wool bud with a bit of lacquer thinner. We'll clean it up, no problem. And then we just got the clear protective coating there.
Yeah. You can start pulling it off.
Well, you want to pull it off? Well, the windows doesn't matter. We can clean it anytime.
Well, pull it off.
I'm going to pull this off.
Yeah, right, get the shiny bit. This is the glory hound.
Alright, so here's
the big reveal.
Yeah. So I just use my fingernails for pulling this up so you don't scratch the outside of the body. Because this part is going to be the super shiny bit.
This is when they really come alive.
Because you can see how the colours become much more saturated.
Look at that.
A little bit left over here. There we go. You can see how the glosses come up on that. That's looking really good. Alright, there's the Tamiya Frog.
And you can see here, I can already spot a mark here from where the pink has come through onto the yellow.
Yeah, this is because we didn't have enough white to cover it all up, right?
We weren't generous with the white. And you can see here this little imperfection. But you're always going to spot the imperfections. Yeah. And it sort of adds character anyway. Yeah. Like I said, we'll be 5 minutes into its life before it's crashed and smashed. I'm just going to go and
while you're doing that, I just got a little bit of lacquer thinner on this cotton wool bud again.
I'm actually just changing direction here. I'm going to hit this again.
Right. Let me just clean up some of this.
While we're in the paint booth.
So just cleaning up some of this overspray. Just gently rubbing it back.
Do you mind if I come in?
I'll get out of the way.
Do you mind if I come in over here? Now I'm just hanging it from a bit of tape, so it's quite hard to show on camera. But it's just really light. I've turned the tape around so I can now hit it from the other direction. And there we go. That is as simple as that. We are painted.
Okay.
Woo!
Yeah. Oh, so you're blowing over there. Here, I'll come back here. So I'm just rubbing off some of this overspray. It'll come off pretty easily.
That has nothing to do with my poor masking job, does it?
No.
I'm sure your body suffer the same thing, don't they?
Oh, they do. That's why I have these techniques of cleaning up. Because no matter how careful you are, it's just the nature of painting bodies, I think. So finding a good way of cleaning up, and I think this is one of the easiest ways. This is a really good result. Doesn't harm the body. And you clean up all that residue, and it just gives it that more pro look.
Pro?
Pro.
We're going to put it in the concourse at the Vintage Bash?
Yeah, of
course.
If there's a competition, it should be entered. There we go. Done that.
I'm just doing a bit of the reveal here. Bringing this wing to life. Again, just using my fingers. If I had some nails. Now, that doesn't get backed or anything. That's sort of the effect. We just want it to be a shine.
It's almost like a ghost finish, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't want it to be too solid.
Yep. Right, there we
go. Go ahead. That's going to mount upon there like that.
Yep. Looks good.
Looks pretty good.
Now, it's almost like you've done this before.
A few times.
A few times?
Just a few times.
Look at that. So we hold it up. There we go. We've got a Brett Racing frog body.
We have.
That's ready for the Vintage Bash, eh?
Yep. So that is episode 5.
Yep.
Now we've probably got one more episode, I'd say.
Yep.
We've got to get you on. We'll probably do another dual collaboration. Might do the driver's head.
Oh, you want me to do the driver's head? Yeah, yep. I can do that.
And while you're doing that, I might apply some stickers or something.
Yeah,
we'll get some stickers on it. Mount the wing.
Yep. Why not?
All the good stuff. Cool. And then that should wrap it up.
Yep. Looking good.
Fantastic.
Right. All done.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for having us. And yeah, that's a paint job on a re-release frog.
It's been fun.
We're Hearns, and thanks for watching.
Thank you.